Sri Akal, Professor Gurbhagat Singh Ji, Sant Gyani Amir Singh Ji, Shri Mahant Gyan Dev Singh Ji, Sant Baba Jagjit Singh Ji Harkhwal, scholars, ladies and gentlemen, it's a privilege and honor for me to give these introductory remarks. In fact, I had pleaded with the director of the seminar, Professor Gurbhagat Singh Ji, that I'll be ready to give the introductory remarks, but not the inaugural address, because I think that I am not capable or I don't have the capacity to do the same. But it is his love and insistence that I am present here. But please do not take it as the inaugural address. My remarks may be taken as the introductory remarks to the seminar. However, I am more pleased to be here because the founder of this Gurdwara, Baba Sucha Singh, I had the privilege of interacting with him frequently, exchanging verbally and perhaps spiritually many things on Shabd and Kal. I have not seen Baba Sucha Singh performing miracles in the sense as we ordinarily call, but I have seen him performing the miracles of transforming many humans from anger to peace, from struggle to solace. And I see many families in Delhi and Punjab who, with the blessings of Baba Sucha Singh, are leading a different kind of a life. And I'm sure if they didn't enjoy the company and had the occasion of having the blessings of Baba Sucha Singh, they would be entirely different people. I am happy that we are organizing this seminar at a juncture when we are witnessing widening divide among human beings, rising violence in the name of religion, and growing disparities in the world order. Hence, I would start with the invocation by Guru Gobind Singh Ji when he said, Namastam Akale, Namastam Kripale. O the timeless, I salute you. O the kind, I salute you. In terms of Kal, when we look back from the point where Guru Nanak Ji took off the mission of spiritual, social unity of the peoples around, we have to have an estimation of Kal in terms of figurative age. हम पैदा होते हैं, जवान होते हैं, बुजुर्ग हो जाते हैं और इस दुनिया से चले जाते हैं. काल का एक परसेप्शन ये है. उसके बाद हम एक समाज में रहते हैं, एक दूसरे से इंटरेक्ट करते हैं, अपना कामकाज करते हैं. वो भी काल का एक समय काल का एक दौर है. लेकिन क्या बस यही काल का कॉन्सेप्ट है? क्या यही मैसेज गुरु ने हमको दिया है? क्या यही काल है जिसके बारे में हमें सोचना है, या इसके पीछे भी कुछ है? बियॉन्ड दीज टू कॉन्सेप्ट्स ऑफ टाइम विच वी डिस्क्राइब फिगरेटिवली इन टर्म्स ऑफ ह्यूमन एज and in terms of space where we live, is this the only thing which gurus give to us? And is this the message from Guru Granth that we derive? I think when today we are suffering the chaos at the spiritual and the personal levels. हमारे अंदर एक तूफान है, हमें कोई राह सुझाई नहीं देती है। धर्मों के और मजहबों के कॉन्सेप्ट जो है वो इतने स्ट्रक्चर्स में बदल गए हैं कि हमें कुछ नहीं सुझाई देता है। तो इसलिए समयकाल को एक यूनिट मानते हुए मैं पीछे चला जाता हूं, जहां हमें सबसे पहले बाबा नानक ने ज्ञान दिया था और हमें सोचने के लिए जो है एक मार्ग दिखाया था। हजरत मूसा के बारे में एक बड़ी दिलचस्प कहानी है कि वो एक दिन गुजर रहे थे तो एक चरवाहा बैठा हुआ था। दाएं बाएं भेड़ें थीं, बकरियां थीं। तो वो कहता था, हे अल्लाह मियाँ, तुम आते मेरे पास तो मैं तुम्हें बहुत ताज़ा दूध पिलाता, तुम्हारे लिए खाना बनाता, ये जगह साफ करता और मेरे तन पर जो कपड़े हैं ये तुम्हें दे देता। और आंखें बंद करके कह रहा है। हजरत मूसा ने जब ये सुना तो उन्होंने डांट दिया उसको, कहा तुमने क्या समझ रखा है, अल्लाह मियाँ कोई इंसान है, कोई शख्सियत है जो तुम उसको खाना खिलाओगे और उसके लिए जगह साफ करोगे। तो मूसा के बारे में मशहूर ये था कि वो अल्लाह ताला से कलाम करते थे। ही वुड कम्युनिकेट विद गॉड आफ्टर हैविंग टॉक्ड टू दिस शेफर्ड। अल्लाह मियाँ ने उनसे कहा कि तुम इस दुनिया में जोड़ने के लिए आए हो, तुम इस दुनिया में तोड़ने के लिए नहीं आए हो। तो मौलाना जलालुद्दीन रूमी ने इसी को बहुत खूबसूरती से एक फारसी शेर में कहा है, तो बराए वसल करदन आमदी, नी बराए फसल करदन आमदी। You have come to unite and you have not come to disunite. Taking this first point of Samaykal, Guru Nanak ji had what you call Abhinav Gyan. He had witnessed the timeless and he could see it. But his personality was an extraordinary personality. We know Sufis and saints who undergo this Abhinav Gyan but confine that to themselves. Whereas Guru Nanak Ji's mission was wider and large. He could see this almost the same situation as we are facing today. The tyrants, the oppressors, the kings, the rulers, muzzling of religious tenets. And he looked back. This had been the condition of Indian society, where Rajas, Maharajas, and all those characters who oppressed the societies had been there. Moreover, Guruji had also to suffer the sufferings of those who were victims of a vast kind of a caste system prevalent in India. Therefore, mission of Guruji became to bring about spiritual unity, but of course from a different methodology which he adopted. It's why that he stressed and emphasized that there is none but one God who needs to be worshipped and who should be worshipped. It's he who exhorted us to undertake that inner journey within our Atma to reach the timeless, to reach the Akal. And this was the travel from Kal to Akal. Interestingly, Guruji also had witnessed the miracle of meeting the timeless, but he did not elaborate on that. Je ho jana akha nahi, कहना कुथन न जाई. What I have witnessed, I cannot share with you, I can't explain to you. Why? Because I take you to that path, I take you to that mark, when you go along and you also witness what I have witnessed. Guru Bhagat Singh Ji, when we undertake postmodern analysis of Sikhism, we have not to compromise the spiritual unity which forms the essence of Sikhism, which is the message of Gurus right from Guru Nanak Ji to Guru Gobind Singh Ji. Guru Nanak Ji did not elaborate about his spiritual experiences. Is a point to be pondered, because if Guruji would have revealed all that, it would have given rise to another form of images, icons, against which he was already pleading. No, you have to synchronize it with the message of Islam, that why there is a prohibition of worship of icons and images, because it distracts your mind from the timeless to something which you see in the form. And this was again the message of Baba Nanak and rest of the Gurus, and the Gyan from Guru Granth Sahib we learn is that we don't have to form the images of the Almighty in our minds, but concentrate on our inner strengths. And then I can go on speaking from Japji, but you are all learned scholars. You all know already, I have not to repeat, except that I'll try to draw some parallels, and I'll just come down as to why did Baba Nanak stop at a point. उस समय काल पर रुक के वो पीछे देखा उन्होंने, 200 साल पीछे, जहाँ से उन्होंने बाबा फरीद के श्लोक को ढूंढ निकाला और उनको पाठ बनाया गुरु ग्रंथ साहब का, अपने कंटेम्प्रेरीज का. और दिलचस्प बात तो ये है कि बाबा नानक के ज़माने में भी सूफी थे, सेंट्स थे, जो दरगाहों में बैठते थे, जिनके पास लोग जाते थे. लेकिन हमें एक प्रश्न ये पैदा होता है कि बाबा नानक 200 साल पीछे क्यों गए समय काल से और ढूंढा उन्होंने ट्रेवल्स किए टू फाइंड आउट द ट्रू shlokas of Baba Farid to be incorporated and included within the Guru Granth. There must be some reason for that, as we call raison d'être in French, to be the part of Guru Granth Sahib. But the emphasis of Guru Granth Sahib, the emphasis of Guru Nanak Ji, of unity of the separate and what we call Wahdatul Wujud, forms the core of Guru Granth Sahib. था पिया न जाए कीता न होवे, आपे आप निरंजन सोए, जिन सेविया तिन पाया मान, नानक गावे गुणी निधान. And if I have to translate this, I will translate it. Qul huwa Allahu ahad, Allahu samad, lam yalud walam yulad walam yakun lahu kufuwan ahad. Ant na sifti कहनन na ant, ant na karne deen na ant. And if I have to translate it, فَبِيَاءِ آئِلَاءِ رَبِّكُمَا تُكَذِّبَانِ, I can go on and go on. Question is that after having had attained the Abhinav Gyan, we have to look to the mission of Baba Nanak and the message he gives to Guru Granth Sahib. I am reminded of a couplet from Rahiman, Abdur Rahim Khani Khanan. He says that जब धागा टूट जाता है तो आप धागे को जोड़ने के लिए गांठ बांध लेते हैं, लेकिन वो गांठ आपको हमेशा याद दिलाती है कि ये धागा टूट चुका था. This thread was broken. दूसरा तरीका ये है कि आप नया धागा बुन लीजिए. You weave a new thread. I think what Baba Nanak was doing, he was not trying to put a knot in the threads, but he was weaving a new thread for the peoples which I believe would cut across religions, regions, and languages. And it's here I turn for a while to the postmodern kind of a construction. You are right, postmodern friends, when you say that Guru Granth Sahib and Guru Nanak and other gurus, or as a whole in the concept of Sikhism, the God was constructed as creative, as benevolent, as kind. But then my problem arises that when you compare this construction with the God of sultans as in Islam, or Brahma as invented by the Brahmins. Why my problem arises there? Because both in Islam and both in Upanishads and both in Vedas, Vashishta Ramayana, God emerges as the benevolent, as the kind, as postmodernists would say, emerges in the Sikh construction. Mool Mantri of Quran, I would say, starts Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Ar-Rahman Rahim. Any activity you start in Islam has to be started with this, defining God as kind and compassionate. And this holds true of other faiths also. Therefore, I would agree that the construction of Lord in Sikhism is compassionate, is creative. But then don't start comparison, because we land in distortions. There is a Islam as propagated by Prophet Muhammad. Then there is the Islam which was constructed by kings, by rulers, by sultans. And against whom people like Baba Farid stood up and pleaded that we have nothing to do with the kings and sultans and badshahs. And the same was the case with those whom Hindu, quote-unquote, large community excluded as untouchables, but were owned by Baba Nanak, and whose hymns were included in Guru Granth Sahib, provides us a great message. As there is a famous hadith of Prophet that when his own son-in-law Ali insisted, what should I do? He said, go and traverse inside and discover yourself. Which Iqbal says, मन के अंदर डूब कर पाजा सुरागे जिंदगी, तू अगर मेरा न बनता है न बन, अपना तो बन. And again, when we have to seek some way to impress people of transgressions, Guru Gobind Singh Ji was insistent as usual that nobody should think he's a lord. And once in his state of, I can't say Jalal, in his anger, but there's a word for it, in his state of Jalal, Guru Gobind Singh Ji said that if anybody thinks or addresses me as a lord, he will burn in the furnace of hell. So the question is that when Guru Gobind Singh Ji used the term hell, Jahannam, he was not trying to portray some other state where a man can go to the hell. So the point I am making is that in the postmodernist discourse, we have to have some similes and metaphors whereby at least you can tell the common people that what is the cost of transgression. To conclude this aspect of Guru Granth Ji, I would say that the first message is that we have to clean ourselves from within, inwardly. We don't have to hold icons and idols within our heart, and we have to traverse inwardly to reach from Akal to Akal, which is timeless. I agree with the postmodernist analysis of Sikhism that we have to see that there is a connectivity and relationship between the Jeev, that is individual, and then I don't agree with the term community. I would say society and the universe. Because the enlightened kind of the group of people which Guru Granth wishes to guide and which gurus wanted to create, that enlightened group which is called Sant Sangat, cannot be to my reckoning confined to a community. मैं उसको community नहीं कहूँगा, क्योंकि मेरे लिए बाबा नानक जी का मैसेज, गुरु ग्रंथ जी का मैसेज यूनिवर्सल है। मैं इसलिए संत संगत की टर्मिनोलॉजी को ब्रॉडर करके यही कहूँगा कि एक जीव है, एक इंडिविजुअल है, उसके बाद सोसाइटी है, उसके बाद कॉस्मोस है। ये एक जीव जो अंदर से सफर करता है और उसी मार्ग पर चलता है जो बाबा नानक ने हमको बताया, जो सारे गुरुओं ने हमको बताया, जो गुरु ग्रंथ जी में लिखा हुआ है। जब वो उससे ट्रैवर्स करता है और रियलाइजेशन, अभिनव ज्ञान प्राप्त कर लेता है, तो ऑटोमेटिकली उसकी जो डीड्स हैं, उसके एक्शंस जो हैं, वो पूरी सोसाइटी को जो हैं वो इम्पैक्ट, उसका इम्पैक्ट उन पर होगा। शब्द से, कीर्तन से, ज्ञान से, ध्यान से फिर वो सोसाइटी फॉर्म हो जाएगी जिसको हम संत संगत कम्युनिटी कह सकते हैं। उसके बाद जीव जो है, इंडिविजुअल जो है, वो काल से अकाल में ट्रांसमिट कर जाता है। वो उस डिविनिटी का, उस रहमत का, उस नूर का पार्ट बन जाता है, जिसको हम अकाल मूर्त कहते हैं। फिर उसके लिए जो कॉन्सेप्ट ऑफ डेथ है वो कोई मायने नहीं रखता है, क्योंकि वो उस नूर का पार्ट बन जाता है। गुरु ग्रंथ जी का फलसफा है, गॉड अलोन इज लाइट, डिवेल्स इन लाइट। नूर का जो कॉन्सेप्ट है गुरु ग्रंथ में, हालांकि यही कॉन्सेप्ट बाय एंड लार्ज कुरान में भी है। अल्लाह नूर समावाति फिल अर्द मिन ज़ुल्मात अला नूर, फ्रॉम डार्कनेस लीड मी टू लाइट। वो वही लाइट है जिसका मार्गदर्शन जो है हमें गुरु ग्रंथ में मिलता है। मैं आपका ज्यादा समय नहीं लेना चाहता हूं, लेकिन मेरी एक विनती है आपसे, वो ये है कि दुनिया के तमाम मजहबों में, इस्लाम हो, हिंदुइज्म हो, क्रिश्चियनिटी हो, वक्त गुजरने के साथ डिस्टॉर्शंस आ जाती हैं। वो मैसेज जो हैं, जो उनका इंटेंशन होता है, वो धुंधले पड़ जाते हैं। हालांकि गुरु ग्रंथ जी और गुरुओं का मैसेज अभी ज़्यादा समय के, फिगरेटिव समय के हिसाब से, एज के हिसाब से अभी ज़्यादा पुराना नहीं है। लेकिन जहाँ तक मैंने अंदाज़ा लगाया है, कोशिश ये है, कभी कभी नादानिस्ता तौर पर, कभी जानबूझकर, कभी सियासी, कभी किसी वजह से, किसी कारण से, मुझे डर है कहीं ये मैसेज जो है धुंधले ना हो जाएं। इसलिए जब हम पोस्ट मॉडर्निज्म के हिसाब से भी एक अहाता करते हैं 6 टेनेट्स का, तो हमें बहुत फूंक फूंक के कदम रखना है और उस फ्रेमवर्क से बाहर नहीं जाना है जो सबसे पहले गुरु नानक जी ने हमारे लिए वज़ा किया था, जो गुरु ग्रंथ जी में मौजूद है। गुरु गोविंद सिंह जी ने आने वाले समयकाल के लिए, मानवता के लिए एक बहुत बड़ा मैसेज दिया। जब उनसे पूछा गया कि आपके बाद गुरु कौन है, उन्होंने कहा ये है, गुरु ग्रंथ की तरफ इशारा करके, ये आपकी गुरु है, ये आपकी गाइड है। तो हमें इस book of guidance की जो है, we have to be very careful in interpreting this and do not move away from its real message of spirituality. Even a comparison between Guru Granth and other scriptures, between Guru Nanak Ji and other gurus, and other scholars of international eminence and philosophers, I feel it is a matter of trepidation, because we are tempted in our own way to underline the contribution of Guru Nanak Ji and to highlight the significance of Guru Granth Sahib. I don't say that we should not make the comparisons, we should not make the comparative kind of studies, but without losing the ground, without losing the broader framework of Guru Granth Sahib. In this behalf, with great reverence, when we talk of Guru Gobind Singh Ji, we lay more emphasis on his martial tradition which he introduced because of the compulsions of the times. But this scholarship which this great Guru had, the vision, the articulation which Guru Gobind Singh Ji had, gets sidelined because emphasis is on one aspect of the personality of Guru Gobind Singh Ji. I really see amazing the Zafarnama which has been forgotten by the scholars. See the courage of the man who tells the Sultan of his time, Aurangzeb, that I wish Prophet could be around this time. The reconstruction of the world, the reordering of the world is as if making the glass and preparing the glass. Sat Sri Akal, thank you.